Hello, welcome back to RC Video Reviews. Tonight we're taking a look at the Dynam Gee Bee Y model. Hey guys, before I jump into this first look, I have a couple things I need to tell you about. First thing is, this is a sponsored video by BitGo Hobby. Please make sure to check them out if you're in the market for Dynam planes, radio equipment, ESCs, motors. They carry a full suite of Dynam products and these awesome Tomcat motors. I'm thrilled that they got these Tomcat motors back in stock because I gave mine away in the sweepstakes for you guys. Right, so if you watch that monster motor shootout, you know this Tomcat G32 performed exceedingly well. In fact, it won. So I was really happy when they got these back in stock. I'm going to be sticking this on my Uproar. I'm going to fly all summer long on that plane, and I'm going to give you guys some long-term results on how the motor performs over a very hot Florida summer. So be on the lookout for more information on this, but that little bad Johnny's going on that Uproar as soon as I get a chance. I'm going to pop that on there and use that on my Tower Hobbies Uproar. Awesome motor. I love these G32s. One last quick little thing about BitGo. I am now an affiliate with BitGo Hobby, so I'm going to put links to all this stuff in the description. If you like the Gee Bee and you want to get one, or you like that G32 motor, I'll put links in the description. I'd appreciate it if you use those links to complete your purchase, because then the channel gets a little bit of help from BitGo Hobbies on referrals that we send over there. So we're paid a small commission for the referral, and so if you're in the market for any of the equipment you're about to see and use my affiliate link, we get a little bit of a kickback, and I appreciate that. It helps the channel. All right, one more quick little detour before I get into the first look. I went out and got a temperature gun, so when I'm doing motor tests on the Judge, now I can take a temperature reading real quick and give you guys a look at what's going on. This is a long time overdue. I know I make some of my judgments based on temperature, but now we're gonna have the numbers, and I'll update the motor test document to include the ambient and the as tested temperature. So now we will know. There won't be any more of John's opinion on this. All right, enough of the detours. Let's get into the meat and why you're here. This is a plug and play EPO foam plane. This formula that Dynam has is really good because you basically go from box to field ready in about an hour. It just doesn't take very long. This particular model comes with a 3715 900 kV motor, and it spins a couple of 12, well, not a couple, and it spins a 12.6 prop. They give you a couple of 12.6 props in the box, so this thing really has everything you need except for your battery and your receiver. Stick those in and you're ready to go fly. The Dynam Gee Bee Y model is based on the 1930s Gee Bee, and if you spend any time at all on YouTube, you've or flying in radio control, you've probably seen these Gee Bees floating around. They're real stubby, and they have a propensity of tipping over, especially on landing. You see them every video you watch. It seems like someone's tipping one of those things over. So this one's a Y model, which has an elongated fuselage, so it won't have that same propensity to tip over. Right, I keyed in on the Gee Bee and asked BitGo if I could do a review on it because I love the simplicity of the plane. It's got fixed gear, no flaps, no retracts, nothing fancy, no lights. It's just a basic airplane. And if you watched my Hobby King Crusader video, that thing, that little rocket ship I just flew, there's something to be said for simplicity in an RC plane. The less that you have on the plane, the less that can go wrong. I'm kind of keying in on that concept with my airplanes, and I think going forward I'm going to be leaning more toward a simplified airframe because I'm still waiting for a part from China for that FMS. It's been over a month and I'm still waiting for a replacement part for that, and I can't fly that plane yet. I'll have this maidened in no time. All right, let's cover the specifics of the plane real quick. This is a low-wing EPO foam sport plane. It uses fixed gear, no retracts on this one, and they recommend a 3S 2200 battery. The wingspan is 50 inches or 1270 millimeters for those of you using the metric system, and the flying weight is 1250 grams. This one spins, as I mentioned, a faster motor. This is a 900 kV 3715, and it'll be working a 12.6 prop. They include a 40 amp Skylord ESC, and don't forget, these Skylord ESCs are not the same ESCs that they used to use a generation ago. These are more modern, and they work far better than the old ones. I like these 40 amp Skylord ESCs, no issues. This is a full suite control airplane, so you have all 4 channels, ailerons, elevator, rudder, and throttle. All right, let's start with the fuselage. This airplane uses that standard Dynam formula with the magnetized front cowl with the plastic beauty plate. I will be drilling a hole in there to make sure that the motor and the ESC and electronics inside can breathe. There's no other front ventilation. All right, the hatch pops on and off with magnets, and that felt really strong. Very positive lock, very strong. And as you can see, everything inside is ready to go. These planes take very short amount of time to put together. I mean, everything is already set up. You basically just kind of screw the wings on, screw the gear on, put the tail feathers on, and that's it. They even have the Velcro in for the battery, for Pete's sake. Well, there's a little surprise. I don't know if the camera is going to pick that up, but I popped the cowl off to give you guys a look under the cowl so you can see the motor. And that is not a 900 kV. That's what the spec says, but that says 1050. So that means it'll produce a little bit more power. It'll spin a little faster, produce a little more power. That's an interesting little turn of events. They're using a slightly faster spinning motor. All right, let's get a close look at this fuselage. The paint, I love the paint. I love that color red. That's basically the same color that's on the Waco, and I just love it. It's a really cool scheme. You can see just right there, maybe just a little bit of overspray. Maybe they didn't get that tape down quite as hard as they should, but the rest of it looks pretty good. There's ventilation there in the back. They made room for air to come out, but I don't see where they made room for air to come in. Maybe it comes in on the canopy. I'm not sure. I don't think it does. Nope. Maybe they just expect you to drill your own hole. Who knows? All right, and here's the other side of the fuselage. Look at the detail in the foam. See how they put these sharp edges on that make it look like the spars in the actual plane? That's pretty cool. That's a nice little detail. I like that. All right, so that's the fuselage. Standard Dynam formula. You know, we've seen this configuration before, different shapes, different colors, but very common formula for Dynam. And you know what? It works. It works. It's a good simple formula, and it does the job. So I like it. Everything on the fuselage looks fine. Oh, look, there's a little. That's another one. See, this is a little QA stuff. That's if Dynam. If you guys watch, this is just one of those areas you could probably make a little improvement. You know, it's no big deal. It's not a deal breaker by any stretch. But you see overspray like that. You guys do such a good job everywhere else. That's just an area that can be cleaned up. That's all. All right. Let's set the fuselage aside and take a look at the wings. Again, this is a 50-inch wingspan plane, and these wings, I'm not sure, I won't know until I mount them on the plane whether or not there's any dihedral. I think there is a small amount of dihedral, and you'll notice a couple of screw holes in here. Those are for wing struts that connect to the fuselage. So yeah, wing looks good. Paint on the wing looks great. I love the scallops. You know, the scalloped paint job is really cool looking. And this is going to be a very high contrast color scheme. I love red and white in the sky. It's very good. The servo's in already, and I'm giving it a tug and checking. Yeah, that one's glued in nice and tight. You know, I had a couple of problems on some past planes with the servo glue loosening up, but that one's on there nice and tight. And you know how I talk about these plates all the time? They've got the plate screwed on the top, so I approve of that. That's a good design. I love that. Yeah, everything looks good there. No lights, no flaps. So again, very basic plane, and that's okay. You know, that's fine, no problems. Nothing wrong with a good basic plane. All right, that's the port wing. Let's take a look at the starboard wing. Everything looks good there. There's the bottom. Let's check that servo. Yeah, that's in there good and tight. No shrink tubing. I think that they normally do that, if I'm not mistaken. I'll check the hardware bag and see if I see any, but if not, I will be putting shrink tubing on. They do have a fiberglass spar in the leading edge here. That's normal. You normally see that on Dynam planes. It gives rigidity all the way out to the far edge of the wingtip. And then these are the mounting brackets for the landing gear. And then here are the wing screw supports. So there you go. The wing looks good. Everything looks good on the wing and fuselage so far. No complaints. All right, there's the landing gear. Everything there is fully assembled. It's got one little mounting plate that screws to the bottom of the wing and you're done. It's ready to go. So fully assembled gear. That looks good. This one looks good. The scallop paint on the wheel pants to match the wing, which is kind of cool looking. I like that. So everything looks good there. Here's the fiberglass wing spar. As I mentioned, two 12x6 props. All right, here's a vertical stabilizer and rudder. Horizontal stabilizer has a fiberglass spar going the distance, and then this looks like it's going to have two control horns, which you guys know how I feel about that. I like that much better than torque rods. It looks like it gets two because there's holes for both of them there. I hope so. And then the decals, very simple decal sheet, which after the uproar, I'm okay with that. That uproar gives me nightmares. But they're very simple decal sheet, no problems. That'll be real simple to take care of. And then the instructions, this is typical for Dynam. You know, this is the pictograph instruction set. They've got an ESC addendum and then pictures showing what you should do and where the graphics go and that kind of thing, center of gravity. Oh, that's interesting. 50 to 55 center of gravity, and on the website it said 58 to 62. So I will be examining that because there's a little bit of a difference of information there. But the book here says 50 to 55 on the CG. Okay. Well, we'll investigate. That's why RC Video Reviews is here. Okay, as far as the hardware goes, this is normal. You can see the red bars. Those are the wing struts. There's a couple of tubes of EPO glue, a bullet nose prop adapter, a couple miscellaneous screws for things like the wings, and I'm sure the wing struts. So that's it on the hardware. And then you also get a pilot bus and a canopy glass and the glue to glue that canopy on. All right, one last thing I wanted to show you before I end this one is the box. So I kind of set this one aside because I wanted to show you that every piece of EPO in these Dynam boxes comes inside a plastic wrap bag like these, inside a box. And you just have to give them credit for that because I've opened my fair share of planes that were just taped inside with no protection at all, and that causes things like rough spots in the paint. So Dynam does a really good job on their boxing, getting airplanes out to their owners without getting damaged in the process. I've had very good luck with that on Dynam planes, and I attribute that to the fact that they put everything in bags surrounded by boxes. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that first look at the Dynam Gee Bee. If you did, please consider subscribing if you're not already, and then pass the word around, share the link with your friends. And if you're interested in this airplane, I would appreciate it if you use my affiliate link, so that way the channel can get a little credit for purchases, referrals back to BitGo Hobby. That's all I've got for tonight, guys. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Take care.